Good morning, cat on a string. Want to play with a string? Yeah, I forgot about that. Cats love to play with strings, and I got mine tied to one. And I got a T-Rex tied to a line who's very eager to go out the door, as he is every morning. Oh, it's a pretty one. Don't blame me, T-Rex. What do we got? 58 degrees. The barometer is on the rise. April 29th, 7:23. We've got a waning crescent pink moon. 63 indoors. Focus, Tim, focus. Warm enough last night that we actually slept with the windows open. 2 days after having the heat on, we went from too cold to too warm. Well, it wasn't too warm and it wasn't too cold. It was just right. Right? Right. What do we have right now? We have just beautiful weather. Oh my goodness, it's still this morning. Birds are singing. Steve, please don't disappear. The weather stick though is neutral. You know the weather stick right there? It goes up when it's nice, it goes down when it's not so nice. It's tending down. I want to show you the time lapse from yesterday. We had differential advection with the air down near the ground coming in from the southwest for the most part. Those lower clouds that thinned out. And then as the sky turned bright in the afternoon, the temperature did manage to get into the low 60s, not as warm as I was hoping or thinking. And you see those high, thin clouds and condensation trails moving in from the northwest. So our flow aloft from the northwest, bringing in a front this morning. And a very noisy, I think that name of that boat is Massachusetts. I don't know. I wrote on it, it's the louder boat, which is displeasing to our ears. Anyhow, we have very different levels of cloud in the atmosphere. Looks like there's some lower altocumulus over there. Then you've got some mid-level stratus layered right there, and then a little broken altocumulus right there. And then almost some altocumulus castellanus, which would be the precursor for thunderstorms, but I don't think we get thunderstorms today. We are a region divided. This morning when the sun came up, the temperature was 37 in Pittsburgh, New Hampshire, and 66 in Westfield, Massachusetts. There's a front right over New England, and this front is kind of ruining the forecast we had made about 6 or 7 days ago of temperatures perhaps being in the 80s later Sunday or Monday. First I said Sunday, then I backed off to Monday. But this front is settling to the south, and it looks like high pressure to the north is going to beat out high pressure to the south to be in control of New England. It's not an easy forecast. Pretty boat. Now that's a nice quiet boat. I want more ones like this. Let's go to the radar. There's a big T on the map. T stands for trouble. At the base of the T, flooding rains this morning. More than 10 inches near the Texas-Louisiana border. And at the top of the T, there's mixed precipitation this morning. It's snowing near International Falls, Minnesota. And that whole T is in sort of a big example of the trouble in forecasting here in New England, because there's a high pressure system that's going to build first in Ontario. That means air from the north today in much of New England. Here we go. Game on. This yard is so quiet, isn't it? There's no such thing as quiet. Noise is everywhere. And I'm part of it. It's very pretty though. How about our Boston teams this weekend? That was some fun. There's Boston. It's great having the Celtics, Bruins, the Red Sox all playing. All right. Back to the forecast, Tim. The surface map shows the... Steve's gone. There he is. Oh boy. This is live. It's one take. It's recorded live in front of a studio audience. Come on, Steve. Come on. The surface map shows a warm front moving through Maine, but a cold front coming down from the north in New Hampshire and Vermont and New York. And it's a fairly quiet front. I think there are just some clouds, and it's a nice day. And parts of New England are going to be 80 degrees today. That part called Fairfield County, Connecticut, Temperatures this afternoon, 81 or 82 near New York City. So southwestern Connecticut does get to 80 degrees today, while northern New England under heavier clouds will be in the 50s, and that cooler air is advancing south. So we have new low-level cold air advection, colder air moving in from the north at low levels of the atmosphere, undermining basically a fairly warm air mass. And that's what happens. That will result in either you call it undermining the warmth or overrunning the cold, but either way the clouds are going to thicken up and we're going to end up with a mostly cloudy week with chances for showers pretty much every day. Timing them out is going to be very challenging. So here we go. Let's go to the 240-hour Euro. Let's just take it day by day. You have that storm coming out of the Great Lakes moving well to our northwest, and the high pressure system in eastern Canada going north of Maine, and wind is air moving from that high from north to south. But because the earth is spinning, you get the Coriolis force, and the air comes in from the north and then the east. Time out for waves. You know how obsessed I am with waves. They're very pretty, they look pretty, they sound pretty, and they teach you a lot if you learn the rhythm of the waves. So technically we are in a warm wave right now. I'm hot, I have on my sweatshirt. And there are waves on waves with waves under and over them, resulting in dissonance. Look what happens when the wave hits a boundary and it bounces in all different directions. So that's why we have a very challenging time forecasting weather. You have a wave coming at you from one direction and it bounces off something and goes in the other direction. And I guess I'm making excuses for why it's going to turn into a cold, relatively speaking, week with chances of precipitation. You see how the waves, sometimes they resonate, sometimes they dampen. That's why weather remains unpredictable, and that's why it's fun. It wouldn't be fun if it was predictable. Back to about Thursday or so, you have a little wave of low pressure going south of New England, and it looks like high pressure wants to strengthen in the Gulf of Maine and eastern Canada on Thursday and Friday. So that puts the kibosh on the wind coming in from the west. Like I was thinking maybe yesterday we would warm up Thursday and Friday. Does not look like that's going to happen now either. And then over the weekend, this does not look pretty either. Another front coming at us from the west, low pressure off to the south. Just can't get rid of that cool, undermining high pressure system. And so we may end up with some chilly rain off and on, which I guess is good news if you want garden weather, but not so good news if you're having your wedding or fun weekend. I keep using Brewster and Bloom as an example of events going on this weekend because it's close to home, kind of. Anyhow, it was an exciting day yesterday. All right, I've talked enough with the weather. It's going to be a cool, great week for most of New England, except for today. And the funnest thing is when you can turn your outside water back on, and it was actually dry enough that I did water the garden a little bit. And Jeff, yes, my lettuce and peas are doing fine. There's no problem there. Tons of lettuce, dill, peas, but there's more peas. They're going to come up, right? More peas somewhere. And it did rain for a tiny bit when I got home yesterday, and I moved around this worm farm a little bit, and I'm making more room for this beautiful soil. All right, we've talked enough about that. Oh, there's a worm. You gonna make it? Yep, you'll be fine. There you go. Yesterday, not only are worm farms good for your garden, they're also a fun playground. When we were kids, we had a sandbox up at the playground in our neighborhood there in South Venice, and since then the playground has been replaced by homes and the sandbox is no more. But how about a loam pile for playing? Anson at 3 years and 1 week old said, "This is fine. You guys just keep working on the garden and I'll just keep playing in the dirt." And playing in the snow, why not? Josh at J Peak yesterday was the last continuous lift served day. He says Lures was really good, even though it's kind of technically closed. And Jay, that's just a suggestion. He said it's been skiing great, some of the best snow on the mountain. And so today, the only place spinning lifts, Killington, which is going to go well into May, and Sugarloaf. This is the last week for Sugarloaf skiing. And Jay will reopen the lifts this weekend. Sugarbush will reopen the lifts this weekend. So it's still kind of ski season. And surf season. I'm going to try and focus a lot more on surf. All right, this is a really long video. I know I got to tighten it up, but I just love nature so much. And thank you for the comments. And Mondo, Mark saying that I'm the Dave Allen Boucher of Boston weather. Now, I think that's a great compliment. Thank you. And Glenn saying it was mesmerizing watching the Osprey, I guess is what you were talking about. So yeah, I am mesmerized, and that's why these videos are so long. So they're certainly not for people in a hurry, are they? And I love not being in a hurry. That's for sure. That tree did not have leaves on it 5 days ago. Well, it had tiny, tiny little leaves. So we're in a new season. It's hockey, basketball, baseball, skiing, surfing, fishing, gardening season. Talk to you tomorrow. The builder of the wall is here with Anson and T-Rex. Hi, Anson. Happy birthday! Saw your birthday last week. Oh, I get a hug. Oh, you're a good man. Thank you. You can hug T-Rex too. Oh, he's got spaceships today on his head.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt sooner or later when you do that.
What, going down on the knees?
Yeah, it hurts me looking at it. This gorgeous woman holding the pallet.
Nice hill climb, Anson.
Dad did it too.
Can T-Rex do it?
What happened?
Come on, Rex.
You got matches?
I got matches. Climbing over everything. It's like them Spartan warriors there. Upstairs, downstairs. They'll come this way. T-Rex, this way. You come on. It's Kevin versus the Holly today. It's Kevin versus the Holly every day. I divided up my compost into 3 sections.
That's what you need. I have a big
What's with the USPS coming down on Sunday? Are they competing with like FedEx or something? All right, so we never really watered it that much yesterday. And I was wondering if we could actually start the fire without using a match today. And nothing ignites like a Christmas tree, so I have a feeling that Kevin might want to back up a tiny bit.
The shad bush hasn't warmed up.
Oh, I saw seagulls. Yeah, baby.
So yeah, let me show you last year. I think they're really.
Really? Oh yeah, so straight to go trip my heel.
Oh, nothing like a pile of dirt and leaves to play in. Yeah. Do you like this dirt?
Full. Full.
The reason the worm farm in Weymouth is better than down here is because I don't get to into it as much. But this is part of the tending. Take the dry leaves on top and move them over and try and give them a little H2O to work with. It helps break them down. Not sure how that works. Something to do with oxidation or something like that. That's the Leland. It grows so fast. Kevin gave it a major trim, and now Anson is playing in the Leland. Wow, look at the size of that leaf. That's a big oak. Bigger than your head. That would feed like 100 worms. Wow, where'd you get that? Look at the size of that. Look, it's bigger than your whole head. It's bigger than my head. Yeah,
See here?
he just loves that leaf.
I don't know. HR should be making sure he's got his chainsaw safe.
Are we OSHA approved here?
Yeah. I applied.
Blue-green tree lights hanging on stars.
I applied for a job at the. It may have been at the dump or something years ago. And they're like, you been through chainsaw training course? I'm like, oh yeah. I'm like, are you serious? It's like I've been using a chainsaw since I was 10 or something.
Never even heard of something.
I know.
He does in 5 minutes what would have That saw only has about 4 or 5 hours on it. How you like that worm chow, Anson? Is that fun? Oh, it's up in the camera.
Gonna slide down this time?
That's the biggest worm I've ever seen. High five. Let me help you up. All right, this is the rescue garden on Cape Cod, and lots of things. All this was right underneath like 6 feet of brush, and look at it, still tried to grow. 6 feet of brush is gone. Now we mow mint and garlic, but the smoke shifted right into where he was trying to work. All right, I'll get rid of that smoke. Can't keep up with Angela and the smoke. Sorry about the smoke, Angela. Beautiful. Maybe that's it for today. There's like 7 feet of brush right there a couple days ago. The rescue garden, found about 3 roses, put them back in. Whatever those, I think are tiger lilies, maybe. Hydrangea right there. And then this guy I thought was completely gone, but guess what? Not. So, into the rescue garden. And more and more and more. No rain so far, kind of chilly, but it's a warm front. And it's getting warmer. Kind of thought we were just about done.
We were, but this, I forgot.
Where'd you find that thing?
It was across the way where I was working yesterday at Barbara's.
Okay, so you gonna spend the night out here?
No.
Yeah. That's it. More and more and more.
Where's the chainsaw?
Lichen.
Back away.
Rex, least favorite thing is driving on the highway. 55 degrees, never really warmed up today. Interesting clouds, but at least we got some sunshine. So the only remaining question of the day is, do we get convection, and is there going to be a rainbow? Leaving Old Bass River Road, Bass River Beach, until we meet again. Right here, Bass River. T-Rex, where are we? You know where we are. Pulling back into surf ski weather headquarters. Ah, the docks are in. I missed it. Darn. Must have guessed it. Looks like we may have a cumulonimbus on the horizon. The day is not over. 67 degrees. The temperature's about 14 degrees warmer thanks to a land breeze. Look at that knotweed coming up fast. Yeah, T-Rex, we're home. Mommy's here. Wow, all these leaves just came out while we were gone, Rex, last 2 days. Can't stop the change of the seasons. Let's do some mowing, Jerry. Time to do some mowing. So that's it for today. Okay? Wow, look at that maple tree. That's the cardinal tree. Is that Mummy way down there, T-Rex? I think it is. Can you move your head? There's some beautiful tulips. All right. Wow, spring has really sprung. Not sure how Steve is going to like it, but I love it when the first spray of the springtime comes out. That sound. All right, the worm farm can be watered. It's actually almost raining a tiny bit right now, but the ground is dry for the first time in who knows how long. So it's kind of fun to sit there and give your lettuce and your peas a little bit of a sprinkle on the last Sunday of April. Oh yeah. And outdoor shower season has begun. Let's see, that'll last till about October. So it's about 6 months and 6 months. Steve's fairly well adjusted. We're back after several threats. The water is on. The hose is hooked up. And more and more and more. No rainbow for me. Felt like 2 raindrops just now. And I think we might have touched 70 today right here. All right, pitter patter of raindrops. Very comfortable. So it's safe to make a fire, right? Because we haven't burned Christmas tree in hours. Yep, we've had pretty dry air lately. So, here we go. It never ends. Except for it's not all brush this time. All day IPA. Works well into the evening, as I like to say. They had me at hello with that marketing right there. It's a light hoppy beer. With a, And for our final trick of this Sunday, I just put Steve in that door over there. And here he is out here, like Houdini. Because he knows how to open that door up there. Right there. That's his little crack. So to speak. I'm glad you didn't run away on me. Thank you. 10 raindrops are over. And so is this video. 3, 2, 1. Play us out, Captain Spacetime. Red Sox are playing over there, hosting Chicago.